Sorry. You said there's a 5 count, or? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Chaia. Pronouns are she, they. I am a Minish Cap randomizer runner. And I've got a lot to talk about. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I'm aware I'm live now. Thank you, Xerxes. And before we begin, I just want y'all to take in this sound. The beautiful sound of GBA. So this is a Minish Cap randomizer run. We're playing The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Everything's randomized. There's a lot to talk about. First and foremost, though, because I like making things hard for myself, I'm doing the run in these. There's no reason for this. It's just fun. So confession time. I had a lot of plans to have a bunch of scripted little oh, here's a fun thing to talk about. Unfortunately, I spent the entirety of last week trapped on planet Omicron in the Corona system, so all of that's gone, and I'm just gonna be winging it. So the gist of this is the evil wizard Vati has turned... My controller just disconnected. The evil wizard Vati has turned the Princess Zelda to stone, and we have to figure out how to save her by collecting the 4 elements to recreate the magic sword. And time started. Shit, yeah. Time is started. My bad. Shit, sorry. We got a tracker down there. Everything's randomized. Few things to explain. There are these things in the game called kinstones. The idea is you collect kinstones from just random drops. And, ooh, we got the boomerang. Cool. This is a completely optional item that doesn't matter, but it can be useful. And the idea is you fuse kinstones with an NPC. An NPC will have a kinstone, you'll have a matching one. You fuse it, and something good happens. This is a terrible mechanic that nobody likes. Sometimes you kin a stone, it's fine. Nobody likes it. And the randomizer has an option to just have all of them completed by default. So that's what we've done. All of the kinstone things are open by default. And furthermore, there's a bunch of freestanding rupees in this game that you can only collect once. And those checks are put into the mix as well. As well, here in Stockwell's store right here, there are 3 randomized checks. As you can see, they're all kind of important. And then there's some generic refills back there. The randomized checks can just be rupees or something, but today they're actually really important, so that means we're gonna need all the wallet upgrades. Lucky me. The boomerang does exactly what it says on the tin. It flies out, it stuns certain enemies, it kills others, it kills very minor enemies, it stuns all others. Minor content warning for this game, there are bugs and snakes. And I know that's not a major trigger thing, but I know that tends to squick some people out, so just fair warning on that front. Alright, there is nothing good in town, which is actually quite unusual, so we are going to do what's called Tingle Trees. These 4 trees here are opened up by fusing kinstones with Tingle and his brothers. And it opens up, you light these 4 lamps, there's 4 chests, and they're very slow and time-consuming, but they're what we've got right now, so we're gonna do them. They're probably gonna have nothing, making me go to the castle, but who knows. Thing is, we start this game only able to hold 100 rupees, so we're already very close to the rupee limit, which means we'll be heading back to Stockwell pretty soon just to buy that first piece of hearts. Every game has bugs in some sense, but I'm talking about literal insects. We've got the quintessential Bloopy, that is the bane of every Zelda randomizer ever. And you might have noticed Link's tunic is not green. That's because the randomizer also lets you control his color. And I went with ECC White. So we've just collected a golden kinstone piece. These are the only kinstone pieces that are left in the randomizer because they are actually story items used to progress in the main story. And those are in the pool. They are specific items. They're not random drops. All right, once again, as I predicted, we got absolutely nothing good from Tingle Trees, so we're heading up into Hyrule Castle. Unfortunately, one of the downside of having, you know, all of the Kinstone items unlocked is this buddy right here, and people like him. These golden enemies are very powerful, very fast, and drop a shit ton of money when they die. They appear from fusing Kinstones. They're bad. I don't like them. Red Rupee, because of course we got a red rupee from that. One other thing, the quick warp is basically a save and quit, but they put it on one button so that you can just do that. And we got one of the best items in the game, the Cane Apache. This is a magic cane that shoots out a thing. This thing, it doesn't actually deal any damage to enemies. Instead, it does something very, very silly. And that very, very silly thing is that if it hits something like a rock or a piece of grass or something like that, it flips it over. That's all it does. It just flips things over. Somehow, this is one of the most powerful items in the game. At least in terms of checks and collecting items. Because see, we're about to be introduced to one of the other major mechanics of this game. I would even say it's the big mechanic. If we flip over this jug, we get a Minish portal. And if we press R while standing on it, Link is now tiny. Now, I was actually going to do some stuff in here. I just wanted to show that off first. So those Minish portals make Link teeny tiny. And if you shrink down here, now that I've moved this cabinet as Big Link, there is a little ladder and we can get up into the rafters. This is the best Zelda game because you can be tiny. True. He's just a little Link. And these are the Picori, or the Minish. They are little guys. They are canonically responsible for all the hearts and rupees you find when you cut grass in Zelda. Like, they are the reason that you get grass and all that hearts and rupees and stuff in the grass. And we just got an empty bottle, which is another actually very important item. So I'm going to collect this, and then I'm actually going to quick warp. I did not mean to save. I'm going to quick warp, because unshrinking and going back through all of that would be a pain in the ass. So with the bottle, we now have access to the items in Julietta's house over here, which is actually just a bomb refill, so we're actually not going to grab it because that's lame. Instead, we are going to now shrink back down. And we are going to cross the bridge. See, this bridge here is out, but Tiny Link can still cross this little plank. So we can get to the other side. Technically, once you've unlocked the ability to do that, the thing blocking you from going here as Big Link is already fixed. I just wanted to show that off. So, Link is big again. We're gonna flip these pots over just for the hell of it. And we're gonna go talk to Karlov. He lives down here in this little tree. We talk to him and we will get 5 arrows. But if we talk to him again, he will tell us RNG manipulation is illegal. I guess that's a good time to point out that all of the glitches that are used by speedrunners of this game have been patched out of the randomizer. You can't do the Ocarina glitch, you can't do any of the glitches that would normally be done in this game. All you can do is the vanilla stuff that is allowed in vanilla. And yeah, being able to rotate anything turnways is indeed super powerful. We're going to shrink back down. Normally we'd have the sword by now. It's a little concerning that we don't, because that severely limits what we can actually do. Tiny puddles here that Big Link would be able to walk on are water that Little Link drowns in. So avoid puddles. You cannot simply step in the puddles. Now we're in the bakery. We're going to dodge these steam puffs, and we're going to come over here because there's a treasure chest. If we just open this, we get a second empty bottle. You only need 1 to beat the game, so that is actually a completely optional item. So right now we're pretty much stuck in town because we don't have anything that can break the barriers outside of town. This would be a sword, or the bombs, or the lamp, or the Ocarina of Wind. This is actually pretty big. This is fast travel, and there are some fast travel points that are already opened. I am just going to do one more thing here in town before we do that, but that is going to get us access to a whole bunch of stuff. First, here in this little schoolhouse, I'm going to flip this over, shrink down, and go out into the playground, where I will try to avoid being trampled by children. Thankfully, the children can't actually hurt you, but these guys can. So I'm going to just stun that guy with my boomerang, get pointless 5 rupees, and see what's up ahead. Okay, that's where the nut is. The nut tends to be useless because the only thing it unlocks you also get by getting the flippers, and the flippers are far more useful. Especially because the nut there is locked behind having the best sword in the game. So we are probably not going to be using that, ever. Alright, we are going to unshrink. We are going to open this chest. Get another pointless 5 rupees, because apparently the game decides to do that a lot. And we are going to play this ocarina. Going to play a very familiar sounding tune. And we're going to warp to Lake Hylia. We're not going to stay here, however, because any of the stuff that we could do here is confounded by our inability to swim. Instead, we are now in Lon Lon Ranch. We're going to just check in this cave. We are going to find 20 pointless rupees. And hooray, rupees. This is going to be a recurring theme, by the way. We're going to open a chest expecting something good, and we're going to get rupees. Especially when our wallet is full. Now, we could unfill our wallet by going and getting that piece of heart from Stockwell, but I figure we'll save that for the next time we're in town. For now, I'm going to shrink down and go in this hole, because I see a hole and I want to be in it. And find one of the best items of the game, the moments. These let you dig. There are specific dig spots, and this opens up all of them. These are actually pretty major, and I'm quite excited to have found them. Alright, if we roll over here, however, one other thing you may have seen me doing with the cane is that if you use it on a hole, that hole becomes magic. And then the hole will yeet Link if Link hops in it. That's the one other thing the cane can do. Those are the only things that this item does. It's a little silly, but that's literally it. Alright. We are here in the lower part of Vale Falls, where we can't actually do anything else because we can't swim. So, we are instead going to head over to Lon Lon Ranch and find Malon's pot. I don't know what she's keeping in that pot, but we are going to find out, because we are going to shrink. Talon's locked himself out. The key would normally be in the house, but instead it is somewhere out in the world. We don't know where. And we are going to get the spin attack, which is completely useless because we don't have the sword. Can't exactly actually use a spin attack without the sword. In any case, I'm going to warp back to town, and we are going to open up one of those caves I mentioned. Specifically, we're going to equip the moments and the boomerang, because there's going to be some stuff in there that we can't deal with yet without the sword, but we can moderately deal with the boomerang. Alright. This cave has a bunch of treasure chests in it, so I'm actually quite excited to do it. First and foremost, we got a piece of heart, which is always a pleasure. Sorry. Kill this little guy with a boomerang, otherwise he would latch on to us and make us unable to do anything. No ability to go spinny for spinny's sake. We need the sword to go spinny. As I say, these guys latch on to us. Kill them with the boomerang. The mole gloves are lovely. The moments are great. Link can just go diggy diggy. If we had the sword, we could go spinny spinny, but no spinny spinny just yet. 50 pointless rupees because our wallet's full. And a chest down here, which has more rupees. See, this is the randomizer curse. Sometimes you go through an entire mini little dungeon full of enemies, and all you get for it is rupees. Still, at least we're gonna go empty our wallet over at the shop, where we can go get ourselves a piece of heart. Everything else in here is far too expensive for our measly little wallet. So that's all we can do. I'm going to quick warp out of here. And we are going to head to Minish Woods. And actually, I just realized there's a much faster way to get to Minish Woods. This is a little bit of a mess. Alright. So we're gonna get back to Lake Hylia. And we are going to come up here. And rather than go the way we were going before, we're going to yeet back up here. And we are going to hop into this little cyclone. The cyclone will fill our magic hat. His name is Eslo, and he's annoying. With air, he will float, and we can fly with him. Thankfully, Eslo pretty much never speaks in the randomizer. There's like a few scripted dialogue moments. Other than that, he'll stay silent. Because he's like if Navi was a little bit more obnoxious. With everything that saying that implies. Alright. Push that rock. Just when you see a rock and you push it into a hole, it stays there. It's a shortcut back, etc., etc. Alright. We are going to fly over here. And collect the prize in this here Goron cave. This is the only instance of Gorons in this game, and they are lovely. They dug this whole cave out with just their fists. And they're all just vibing over here. And for that, we get a piece of heart. Cool. I was about to quick warp, and then I realized it's actually faster to not do that. We are just going to go this way. And we are going to end up in a part of Minish Woods that isn't quite progress, but it has a few checks that we can go do. So we're going to do those. First and foremost, I just realized I probably shouldn't do syrup check just yet. It doesn't matter, it's a rupee. Thing is, whatever's in there costs 60 rupees, so I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that when I only have 20 rupees, but it didn't matter, because it was just 20 rupees, so we're good. Get a pointless bomb refill. And pass go, collect 20 rupees. We are going to be encountering rupees a lot. Anybody who's played a Zelda randomizer knows how that goes. And we'll just find a heart container just sitting out in the open. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Sec here. $60 rupees for 20 rupees. What a steal. Oh, that happens all the time. There are several points where I will be sold a rupee for a larger number of rupees. And the secret with the randomizer is that you don't have to say yes. This is something that apparently took me way too long to learn. Anyway, this check here almost never has anything good. I'm actually a little surprised that it has something vital. So I'm going to go collect the power bracelets. Those are actually really important, which they normally aren't, and makes one long for a major minor split. Alright. Alright. So, we're gonna get up here, and we are going to see the least interesting Great Fairy design in Zelda history. These Great Fairies are exceptionally boring. They're just, you know, generic fairies. Alright. We're going to leave this Great Fairy because she only gave us an arrow refill, which we can't even use. And now we will enter Minish Woods proper. This is where we're actually supposed to be. I'm gonna push that Octrock into the water, just murdering it in its cold blood. And away we go. We're gonna diggity dig in here, see what we can find. And the answer is likes, who we cannot kill. So we have to just... I take it back, we can kill them now. Alright. Alright, I'm not gonna waste my bombs on them, though. So that opens up a hell of a lot, actually. Most importantly, it means that we can do a full loop through this place without having to turn back at any point. So So, bombs are great. We are now actually able to damage enemies. We're also about to collect just a bunch of useless crap, because these checks are never good to me. And moreover, we are now in the area where we're supposed to actually learn how to shrink. There. We go in this hole, and we find... What did I expect? I'd say to keep a running count of every time that happens, but that's not feasible. It's going to keep happening. We are now entering the Minish village. It is a tiny village, entirely populated by the little Minish guys, and it is adorable. They made houses out of boots and stuff. This one over here is a big old barrel. And it's got exactly one check in it, which is 20 pointless rupees that I'm not going to grab. So this whole area is adorable. The music's great. I really like it. And there's one more check here, which is a piece of heart, which I will never say no to. Pieces of heart are nice. And if we go to see the Elder, he will not actually tell us anything important, but he will have a door open that lets us just leave this way instead of having to turn back. If we didn't have the bombs, that wouldn't be open. Okay, so we're going to go talk to the Minish who lives here. He's going to give us a rupee, a single rupee. And then we're going to do it again. And he's going to give us 5 arrows. None of that was useful at all. However, there's a bunch of stuff that we can now access, so I'm not complaining. We'll open this chest right here, get a rupee, and throw this bomb. I didn't actually need to collect that, but I did it anyway. Alrighty. Up we go. And see this little ball here? That's a bombable wall. We are going to blow that up and see what we can find. It's 100 pointless rupees. This happens a lot. And now we have a beanstalk. These are scattered all over the world. They're only available if you fuse kinstones. And they have stuff. This one has the roll attack, which is one of my favorite items in the game, but we do need the sword to use it, and we don't have the sword. So, yeah. We also got the graveyard key, which reminds me I need to do a map check. See, there are 6 dungeons in this game, but there's only 4 elements, so I need to know which ones we actually need to go to. And it looks like the graveyard and Lake Hylia are off the list. So I'm going to uncheck their elements. They don't have elements. Alrighty, and with that, we have looped all the way back around to here. And we've got the Peril Beam, yet another item we can't use until we have the sword. And we are now in South Hyrule Field, right near where we started, but on the other side of a barrier. Alright, if we break this open, we get another empty bottle that we can't use. Okay, we can, but it's completely pointless. Anyway, here's where the settings that I'm actually using for this game kind of come together in a way that's a little silly. You see, there are these little deposits that are opened by kinstones that contain a bunch of freestanding rupees. And just, so it'll be like 25 5 rupees, blue rupees. And thanks to the Rupee Mania, those are all added to the shuffle. So if I go down here, there's stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Not as much stuff as I was expecting, to be honest. But most importantly, we got the Smith's Sword. Finally. And now I am barely ever going to take anything else on to button B. Because the Smith's Sword is really freaking important. – As you may have gathered, seeing as this is a Zelda game and it's a sword. So this is the roll attack. It lets you roll and then attack. And there's our Swift Blade. There's our spin attack. And this here is Swift Blade. He is the finest swordsman in all of Hyrule, and we can train with him 4 times based on what items we have. So if we talk to him, he will teach us the spin attack. But of course, we already have the spin attack, so instead he will give us a single rupee. Because it's a randomizer. This also gives us access to another check here in town. If we go into this spooky house right here and talk to this buddy, I'm gonna not hear about him. I'm just gonna give him 10 rupees and he will go make us fight some bad guys for a prize. Alright, so these guys are not a challenge at all. They die in 2 hits. However, if they hit you, you lose money. Alright, Boomerang is actually very helpful here because these levers tend to go underground. And if I stun them, then they don't go underground. Hooray! And it's another rupee. I love randomizers. God, Ezzo looks like he's dying with the white color. This was a bad idea. He's fine. Link just shakes him awake and he goes back. Awake. Alright, so if we go into this school right here, and we push this statue, there's a secret underground passage full of explodable rocks. We're gonna explode these rocks, and we are gonna see what's on the other side. I'm gonna queue up bombs beforehand so as to shorten the waiting period for each rock. The only time I'm not going to do that is right here, where we will get 2 rocks for the price of 1 bomb. And the reason I'm not going to do it there is because it needed precise placement, and I couldn't do that with the throw. Alright, we're going to blow these up, and we will get from our trouble rupees. Great. Fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. But being facetious aside, there's a few more checks that we can go grab, so we're gonna go do that. It looks like the game right now is kind of leading us towards Mount Crenel based on available checks, but that all depends on whether whatever's in here is actually acquirable, or actually important. It is acquirable. Question is whether it's important. And it's not! Ding, ding, ding. We're gonna quick warp out of there and head to the left to take it back now, y'all. Rupees can be exchanged for lamp oil, rope, and bombs. God, I wish it could. Problem is, our wallet's full. Alright. And we just keep getting rupees that we can't use. 1 hop this time. Exactly. Alrighty. So if we dig into this cave right here, we will find a little Moldorm. These guys are a little obnoxious, but they die pretty easily, so it's not a big deal. And we will get a pretty important Kinstone piece that's a surprise tool that will help us later. And I always forget that there's 2 chests in here. That's what, the second one's not important, but it is there. Alright. So hopefully from Mount Crenel we are going to get some useful items, because we cannot, in fact, complete the entire area just yet. We know exactly where the grip ring that we need is, and it requires 600 rupees, which we can't hold yet. So we cannot complete this entire area just yet. Alright. We're going to fight these Tektites. because these creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. And we're gonna blow up this little cave here. And this will give us one of the best. Nope. Forget the one of. We're about to get the best item in the game. Welcome to the Rocks Cape. This is the best item in the game, hands down, because it lets us do one thing that just absolutely breaks the game. And that is jump. All of a sudden, a whole bunch of stuff is open that should not be open to us just yet. But it is, because we have the Rocks Cape. This is pretty major. This is what I'm always hoping to find early on in every single run. Because the Rocks Cape is really fucking good. Ah, sorry, my language. This is the best progress item. It breaks a bunch of dungeons. 2 hops with the Rocks Cape. Hey. We're gonna get some piping hot spring water too. And we're gonna get the rest of the checks here, but actually, now that I think about it, we don't have everything we need to get through this area efficiently, and we have a bunch of checks opened up just from getting the Rocks Cape. So we are gonna go do a bunch of stuff now. Because holy crap, so much stuff opened up just from this one item. It is amazing. And I'm going to probably waste that spring water. Unless I can think of a reason to actually... I don't need 2 fairies. I rarely even need 1 fairy. So I'm going to use one of those to get another empty bottle. Wait for the doggo to move. And time for something very fun called Fountain Quest. This is actually a story required thing in the original, in the vanilla. It's a lot of fun. It requires you to solve a bunch of obtuse puzzles in the original, but in the randomizer, you just have to be able to go through the place. We go into this guy's house, and because we put out his fire, we can climb up his chimney, come out the roof, and go into this next house, which we simply pass through. And we cross this tiny little bridge over the waterfall. And we enter this little garden full of cats. Now the thing is, these cats are the most dastardly enemies in the game. They are trying to kill us because they're cats. And I love them. Anyway, here's those aforementioned bugs. We also get a wallet upgrade, which is lovely. I will very much take that. It's not the one we actually need, but it's helpful nonetheless. Actually, we do need that. I don't know what I was thinking there. Anyway, use the cane to neum up here. And we will now take care of these little molldozers. Alright. For some reason, they're giving me bomb refills. I don't know why. And rupees. We open this, we get a piece of heart, which completes a new heart container, which is great. You can also jump across here, because the Rocks Cape breaks everything, and it's great. Get another piece of heart. Like, when I say the Rocks Cape breaks a bunch of things, I'm not being facetious. It just opens up so much that was never intended by the designers. It breaks a bunch of puzzles. I'm gonna cough real quick. Makes a whole bunch of stuff available that wasn't. And it opens up a Swiftblade check. He will supposedly teach us the down thrust, but that's not what he's actually gonna do. He's just gonna give us something and tell us to pretend that he taught us. He gave us 50 rupees. He basically just gave us some hush money. And for now, that's all we're going to do in town. But by virtue of having the Rocks Cape and the Mole Mitts, we can now do something called Treasure Cave. Treasure Cave is great. It's a huge source of items. Hopefully it's going to go well. Let's do this. You see, even if we could swim, we wouldn't be able to get to Treasure Cave without the Rocks Cape. You cannot swim onto these sheer cliffs. You need to have shallows to get in and out of the water. So there's 7 chests in here. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And diggity dig this way. Digging is a little slow, which is why I'm trying to avoid it whenever possible. And alongside those, there's also this additional little rupee, which is not actually important at all. Okay. So that's 4. We got a library book. That is an overdue library book. Link has been tasked with returning to the library. We might or might not actually complete that, depending on if we actually get the library books. But, yeah. Digging is slow, but it's also very fun. True. Alright, that's 6, I believe. Yeah, that's 6. There's 1 left. So, the thing about the library books is that, there are 3 checks. There are 3 library books. And if you get them all, you open up 1 more check. And that's 7. However, we're not done here just yet, because if we go up here, and then down here again, we find ourselves in another part of the cave. If we avoid the like, we find a beanstalk. And if we climb this beanstalk like the hero we are, then we get a piece of heart, a rupee, and 5 arrows. Not exactly the lion's share of the haul. And I completely forgot to reset my position. I made a mistake there. I really should have gone back out this little door here before I went up the ladder. Oh well. Live and learn. What I am going to do, however, is use the ocarina, even though we're going to the same area, in order to get back on this ledge. So we come down here, and we fall in this hole. We find ourselves yet another challenge made utterly trivial by having the Rocks Cape. You're supposed to have a bunch of other items, including the flippers, and a bunch of other important stuff. We don't need any of that. We have the Rocks Cape. We talked to Malari here, or Librari, not Malari. We talked to Librari here, he gave us rupees. Watch, this is gonna put us back here, isn't it? Can I get some Fs? That was not great positioning. There's, however, still more that we can do here in Lake Hylia, so we're gonna keep moving. To see if we hop over here. What's really fun with the Rocks Cape is that you can get a bunch of weird angles with it that were never really intended, but are, like, allowed for anyway. It lets you do some funny jumps and some funny movement tech. We got the White Sword. This is the Sacred Blade Reforged, but it doesn't have any power. Regional Indicator F, thank you very much for that. This does 1.5 times the damage of the Smith Sword, but in its current form doesn't do anything else. It just deals more damage. Doesn't even open any checks. We'll need to upgrade it again in order to actually get stuff out of it. And this is Wave Blade, but we can't do Wave Blade until we have 10 hearts. So with that, we have completed the stuff that is here in Lake Hylia for now. There is actually a dungeon here, but it doesn't have an element this time around, so hopefully we'll be able to skip it. Because it is, everybody dreads, a combination ice and water level. So, yeah, I will be very happy to avoid that if we can. Alright, we equip the cape, and we jump right over that. Alright, we get Legend of the Picori. That's another library book. Kill this rupee-like before it can take all our money. And we got a kinstone piece for, I believe, Caster Wilds. Unfortunately, I was mashing to get out of the like, so I kind of mashed past the text box. Blue choo-choos, they'll sparkle electricity, but if you just kill them instantly, it's all good. 20 rupees, and yet another big wallet. Still not actually enough to get the grip ring, but it's a nice little upgrade anyway. Alright, we're gonna open this up, finally. Normally, that would have been opened up, like, right at the beginning of the game. But because of the little kind of circuitous route we took, where we actually used the ocarina to get out of town, we never ended up breaking that. Now we're just gonna blow up these rocks and go north. Because there's Vale Falls Upper here. In which we really can't do anything here yet, except if I don't mess up the jump. I said, if I don't mess up the jump. Haha. I can see that's much more of an if than usual. There we go. We can go in this cave. Dig, dig, dig. And we get 20 rupees. And something actually useful, which is this little enemy here. We can hit it with the boomerang. And we will always get a fairy. So that's nice. We have a fairy again. 50 rupees. Cool. We're gonna quick warp just to get out of the cave and warp back to town because there's 2 more checks there. Heck yes, fairies. Yeah. Always fun. Especially the Zelda kind that just heal you and are just nice and give you things and don't ask for your name. I kind of clipped through that guy there for a sec. Alright, Cloudtop's Kinstone piece. That is important for later. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. And we've got another Switchblade check now that we have a new sword. He's gonna claim to teach us the Rock Breaker, but nothing's gonna happen. He's just gonna give us something else instead. Were you even using your name anyway? Yes. Awake, heck yes. Hello. Alright. Alright, looks like our only remaining option is to head back to Mount Krenel. So, even though I was trying to avoid that because we don't have everything we need for it, I guess we're going there anyway. Push that guy into the water. And let's keep going. We can still do a bunch of cool stuff, even if we don't have everything. There's still quite a few checks we can do. And the funny part is because we have the Rocks Cape, once again, it just breaks things. Because see, here's the thing here. What you are supposed to do here is blow up this wall, go through a little cave, and get out on top so you can jump into the tornadoes from above and work your way over. Instead, we're just going to jump into the tornado from below and instantly make it. I love how the Rocks Cape breaks the game. Also, heart container. Great. Excellente. Alright, we're gonna grab a bomb here and throw it at this suspicious wall. Because the suspicious wall is, in fact, a cave. Alright, equip the Rockscape again, because it's just good. Okay, so this entire cave just refilled our bombs and gave us rupees. I'm actually okay with that, because there's an item that we're supposed to have at this point that we don't have, and we're going to be using a lot of bombs as a substitute for it. Because you see these little spiky things on the ground. Ordinarily, we would use that item that we don't have to get rid of these, but because we don't have it, we're just going to be blowing them up instead. In a controlled demolition. Anyway, we're going to be Tiny Link because this rock is also a Minish portal. And we're going to continue to break puzzles using the Rockscape. Of all the items to get early on, this is the best. And we got the final wallet upgrade. I am going to hope for a lot of rupees because that final wallet upgrade is in fact what we need to get what we need to complete this area. So I'm going to get a bunch of rupees one way or another. And yeah. I was going to get a heart container. That's nice. I'm just gonna kind of hope that we get a bunch of rupee drops. If not, I can go and get some of the ones that we missed, etc., etc. We're gonna throw this big old bean into that hole. We're going to unshrink. And we are going to go use that spring water from earlier. This is the last time that we need to use the bottle. Like, at all, period. We do not ever need to use the bottle again. Alright, we're gonna go up here. And we are going to blow up another suspicious wall. And avoid the golden tech tank, because those guys are assholes. We're going to fill up our empty bottle with a fairy. And we are going to collect 200 rupees. We are going to pass go, apparently. Alright. There is... Actually, speaking of rupees, we are going to kill this golden asshole. It's going to take a lot of hits, but we need rupees, so... Got him. And he drops 100 rupees. Alright. Gonna blow up this wall. See what's behind it. And we have a treasure chest here. It gives us 5 bombs. It's pointless. And, frankly, I think the next step is to head back to town. And or acquire rupees, which we can do pretty quickly, actually. Darn all those bastards who can't give credits. Yeah, no, we need money. Actually, I'm gonna head up to the castle because we saw another one of those golden guys there. And I'm actually going to use the boomerang to help, because it will still stun these guys. Usually my wallet fills up pretty quickly just from checks, but apparently not today. All right, need a little bit more. I'm going to go warp over to the woods. And I believe there was a bunch of rupees over in Minish Village that I didn't grab. So I'm gonna go do that now. Ah, the dance of needing money in video games. This is something I'll be honest, this never happens normally. Normally, it's like, I don't need money and my wallet keeps filling up. For once, I actually do need the money and the wallet is... Oh. And here I thought it was a bunch of rupees. It was 20. Well, silver lining, we only need 100 more. Shouldn't be that bad. Actually, I know exactly how to get another 100 rupees. Hey, we are gonna play a mini game. This is a time-honored tradition in Zelda. Normally, I would wait to do this until we had 2 more items that we currently don't have. But we need the money, so we're gonna catch some cuckoos. There are 2 golden super cuckoos and 1 regular cuckoo. We need to get them all. Now, the golden cuckoos are actually easier to collect than the regular cuckoo, which is a little weird, but they are. Because what they do is they run a set distance and then stop. So I can just keep throwing them. Whereas this regular buddy over here will just keep going. So I gotta lure him. Got him. Hell yeah. Oh. I wasn't even expecting to get the 200 rupee. I was expecting to get the regular reward there. You know what? That's cool. That's okay. And grip ring. There we go. We now hopefully will never need any more rupees. Actually, given the remaining checks that are rupee related, we actually have enough for them already. So we literally do not need any more rupees for the entire game. That's all of them. We have all the rupees we will ever need. Ever. And the nice bit is now that we have the grip ring, we can actually skip a bunch of stuff. We don't have to backtrack the exact same way we went before. We can just climb up this wall. Also, those golden guys, once you kill them once, they're gone for good, so we never have to worry about those guys again. Hooray. Alright, Link climbs pretty slowly. Except the funny thing is he actually climbs really fast when he's moving sideways, but he climbs really slowly going up and down. I don't know whose decision that was, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, these falling rocks always kind of look like meatballs or cheese puffs or something to me, so I usually just call them falling cheese puffs. You throw a bomb in the fairy fountain, another very boring fairy appears, and she asks if I threw the golden bomb or the silver bomb. In the actual game, you have to answer neither, but in the randomizer, it actually doesn't matter what you answer. She'll give you the item anyway. Which I find kind of vaguely confusing. I don't know why they did that. But whatever. Alright, we're gonna open this chest, find another 20 rupees that we don't need. And we're gonna find something very lovely waiting for us on top of this mountain. To see, the cool thing is, waiting for us at the top is a big old beanstalk right at the top of the mountain. And if we climb up it, we will find a whole bunch of rupees we don't need and some pieces of heart. Cool. Not great, but cool. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Alright. Next up, we got a little Momit's Cave down here. So let's go find out what's waiting for us. Oh, it's 5 arrows. Don't need it. Don't want it. Don't care. That is the nice thing about being able to see certain checks ahead of time, is that if you realize, oh, I don't need this, you can just not complete the challenge. Alright. Pull on this mushroom until Link is red in the face, and then he gets yoded. And now we've got a whole bunch of block puzzles. Have fun. Also, when you're tiny, raindrops are dangerous. And they keep falling on my head. Yeah, that's 10 hearts. We can go back to the place in Lake Hylian now, once we've completed this area. Yeah. Alright, we push this rock into this hole. And then we get a rolling block puzzle. Watch for rolling blocks, everybody. Alright. Push this, and we did it, Patrick. We solved the puzzle. Keep pushing that rock until we reach the hole. Push the rock into the hole, and we're good. We have filled all of those holes. Alright. These guys here are actually really dangerous because the item you're supposed to take them out with, which is an early game item, is an item we don't have. So, have fun with that. Oh well, we cleared it out anyway. Alright, just make space there, jump across. It's really only half a puzzle. Pretty much, yeah. The Rock's Cape continues to be pretty awesome. And another one of these. Alright, so if we push this where it needs to go, it is actually not that difficult. This is, in fact, a game for children. A fact that continues to astound me. Alright. Kill a choo-choo and get 20 pointless rupees for it. But we have made it through. We are now shrinking and passing through here. Which is full of bulldozers. And a piece of heart. Hey. Welcome to Malari's Mines. This area currently has nothing for us, but the workers down there are actually working on the sword that we are currently holding. That is the broken sacred sword, because randomizer logic. More importantly, however, we are about to enter our first dungeon an hour in. Nah, I figure it's fine. Yeah. After an hour of faffing about in the overworld, collecting items, we're entering a dungeon. And here's the fun thing about this dungeon. We already have the dungeon item for this place. And we have the Rock's Cape. We are going to tear this dungeon to shreds. This is not going to take long at all. So these guys are literally babombs. They're babombs. I think they're literally even actually called babombs. They're just Mario enemies in a Zelda game. Avoid the Helmosaurs. And Link just... See, what I love about this is that it's not a single unbroken scream for the duration of the ride. Link starts screaming, stops, takes a breath, and screams again. Okay, those guys didn't blow up where I wanted them to, so I'm just gonna use one of my bombs. Alrighty. So, you're supposed to kill these guys with the aforementioned item that we don't have. But we don't have it, so we're just gonna do it by getting behind them. And taking them from... No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Hey, look, it's fairy. Too bad we don't need it. Alrighty, so Tiny Link is very slow. But he can roll. And we know that that is useless, so we will not be getting that item there. It's always nice when you get to see the items ahead of time and you know whether you need to grab them or not. Also, this is not key shuffle. So all the keys, while they're shuffled around within the dungeon, are in the dungeon. So, like, you don't need to worry about having to find keys elsewhere. We also just got the compass, which is completely useless. Honestly, both the compass and dungeon map are just useless when you have a tracker. But the big key is actually important, so I'm okay with that. And here is where the Rockscape starts to tear things apart. Because you've got all these moving platforms over lava that you can just completely and totally ignore. You're supposed to go over there and glide into that from an upper one. He is exceptionally fast for his size. He's still slow. Completely skipped the actual puzzle in this room. Also, if we just push this chest into the hole, we can open it. And get a small key, which is really the only item left that it could have been. Alright, get back in the cart. Hear Link's unending screams. And unlock this door. Which lets us shift the rail. And now if we get in the minecart again, we'll go somewhere else. Anyway, ignore those guys. And this here minecart, we're gonna flip it turnways. Whee! Alrighty. Get this chest into the hole. Get another key. Cool. And with that, the entire rest of the dungeon is open. Those are all of the keys in this dungeon. You notice that the key count on the tracker has turned green. That means we have all the keys. Let's finish this dungeon up. We're just gonna blaze through it. Alright, last one. This mini-boss is just a bunch of gray choo-choos. It's a little silly, actually. But we got a very important item that we really do need. So that's nice. And we opened up this. And once again, we can just skip almost all of the puzzles here. You're supposed to use the cane to flip things over, etc., etc. We can just jump over pretty much everything. Except when we're Tiny Link. Because the only item that Tiny Link can use is the sword, and it doesn't even do anything. It's like 11 minutes early to be blazing. I mean, depends on your time zone, right? For me, it's several hours too late. Alright, with that. Alright. Start throwing these guys into the hole. we got our little lever, which we are going to push into the remaining hole. And do that. Like I said, we are just gonna tear through this dungeon. This dungeon is paper mache, and we are a box cutter. I don't know why that's the metaphor that sprang to mind. This final room especially, we are just tearing this apart. See, what you're supposed to do is flip those spiky lads over so that you can stand on them. And you're supposed to do a bunch of timing-based stuff with regards to that. I'm not doing any of that. It is always 4 p.m. somewhere. I'm just skipping that entire puzzle. And once again, you're supposed to use the cane on the holes to make Link jump. Once again, we're not doing that. And even this one, I don't know how that lever's connected to anything. It's magic. We're jumping in from below, which lets us skip a bunch of stuff. We are just absolutely tearing through this dungeon at record pace. It's great. All right. Load up. Grab the dash attack, which will be very helpful once we get one more item. I went the wrong way. I was supposed to just do a straight jump. And refresh the, refresh it. Refresh as low again, and I think we can make it for this last bit here. All right. Single rupee. Perfect. And final chest of the dungeon. It's a piece of heart, which puts us at full health to fight the boss. All right, let's fight this boss. This is Gleerock. This boss is a ton of fun to fight. He's great. Look at this. He's a freaking lava dragon. He's good. He's got this rocky shell on his back, which we're supposed to use the cane on to flip it over and make it hit him. Then we beat the shit out of this gem on his back until he starts sinking into the lava. At which point we want to retreat. The lava does some weird GBA pixel smushing as it grows. Then it'll shrink back down. And the cool thing here is as he breathes fire, we can actually completely dispel the fire with our sword. This is something I only recently learned I could do. It made the fight way easier than it used to be. All right, keep beating him up until he sinks. I'm actually going to go back down to the bottom of the stage for the final phase. Avoid the rocks. Thankfully, they're not that difficult to avoid. And prepare to swish our way out of some flames again. All right, got him. This fight doesn't always go this smoothly, so I'm pretty happy that it did. And that's Gleerock defeated. That's one boss down, 3 to go. Hopefully just 3. We don't know whether we're going to need to claim another dungeon, but we'll try not to. And in the fire dungeon, we get the air element, because of course we do. Did you expect anything different? Like, say, the fire element? Well, this is a randomizer, so don't be silly. We got the wind element. And now, if we go back into Malari's mine, now that we've completed the Cave of Flames, we will actually get another check, which I think is pretty cool. So we'll go talk to Malari over here, and he'll give us something. Or not. Okay, so he gave us crap. But that's okay, because we can just go to Lake Hylia and get that remaining check that we can do now that we have the heart containers. Whee! Alright, let's see what he's got for us. There's also another check in town that we should do. So I'm gonna go do that. I've basically completely forgotten about it until just now. But it is available, and it was available from the moment we got the Rockscape, so I'm just gonna go do it. And hope that it's something good. See, this game has Bottom of the Well. It is much, much smaller and less scary than Ocarina of Time's Bottom of the Well. It's just this one room. And it was useless. So, yeah. I think we're gonna head for Vale Falls next, now that we have the Vale Falls Kinstone piece. Mostly because it's kind of the only place we can go right now. And technically, we don't have everything we need to get there, but we can do the stuff there anyway, even though we technically shouldn't be able to. So, this is the Kinstone screen. All the Kinstones that we currently have are story required. We will never have any other Kinstones. Okay, so if I open this up, you notice it is really freaking dark in here. We are supposed to have the lamp before we go in here. We don't have the lamp. You can't get ye lamp. So it doesn't matter. We're gonna continue anyway. Alright, I have no idea what's in this chest. Let's find out. Cool, that's useless for now. When we get the ability to swim, that'll let us swim fast. But at the moment, we can't swim at all, so it's not helpful. Alrighty. Jump down here. And we get the shield, finally. That opens up 2 checks. And we got the best technique in the game. And we got the Wake Up Mushroom, which opens up a check in Hyrule Castle Town. In the town. Alright, we're technically not supposed to be here yet, so I will take those checks and leave. Especially because we have a fast travel point open, so we can come back here anytime. I'm actually going to go to Mount Krenel, because that's where one of the 2 checks we just opened is. And the other one's close enough that we can get to it from here. I really hope it's good. Alright, if we equip this shield, we'll go in here. And we will get 5 arrows for 40 rupees. That was pointless. F. F. I feel pain. It's the luck of the draw. Y'all know how rando goes. And the second check is over here in Troby Highlands. Or if we go down this ladder and we blow up this wall, and then we re-equip our shield, we will find another Deku Scrub. There are only 2 Deku Scrubs with actual checks in the game. These are them. He's offering 1 rupee for 20 rupees. Sounds like a great deal. I'll take it. And if we go to Hyrule Castle Town with the mushroom, we can get a check here. Specifically, we'll use the mushroom to wake up this guy. And we will get not the Pegasus. Oh! We actually got the Pegasus boots from the Pegasus boots check? That's really funny, not gonna lie. That's a vanilla check. That is where you get the Pegasus boots in vanilla. That's actually hilarious. So we can now run fast. In the original game, you'd have to bind it to A or B, but in the randomizer, you can it's actually bound to L. So you can just press L whenever you want and use it. Anyway, that opened up a ton of checks, including the Swift Blade check. And moreover, it let us move fast, which is very nice. So it opened up 4 major checks for us right now. 2 in Hyrule Castle Town, or 2 in Hyrule Castle, not Hyrule Castle Town. 1 in Lake Hylia, and 1 in Lon Lon Ranch. Anyway, normally I have to route around the golden snake, but we already killed it, so it's not a big deal. So we can now shrink down in here, and all these fountains that previously had a check in the stair part also has this little bit that we can go in while tiny. It gives me 5 rupees. And the other one is on the other side. So if we roll around at the speed of sound and get in here, we will find... Well, I don't know what we'll find, but it's sure to be something interesting. Or not. It was 5 rupees. That's like the opposite of interesting. That's really boring. Anyway, if something is further away than 3 rolls, it is faster to use the Pegasus boots than to roll to it. Also, you can have your sword out with the Pegasus boots, so you can kill anything in your path. Alright. Slam this suspicious tree. It's a portal. And we have a check. One rupee. And 50 rupees. Or no, that's 100 rupees. Either way, not great. But anyway, from Lake Hylia, we can get another check. Actually, we can get 2, which I really hope don't suck, but they very much might. Actually, wait. We can't do this. I don't have any of the items for that. Shit, never mind. Let's see what they are, at least. One of them's a red rupee, and I don't know what the other one is. Well, let's head back to Vale Falls. And see what we can get from there. So nothing on this lower level. We already checked it out. And it gave us some important stuff. Alright, let's see what this is. It's pointless! Hooray! We've got ourselves another chest here. Which has 5 rupees. Hooray! That's not great. All right, let's see what's in Cloud Tops. So we get in this giant tornado. We go into the sky. This is way before Skyward Sword. Anyway, I'm not going to fuse any kinstones because we're supposed to, but I don't really have all of them, and it would be kind of a waste of time to do it at this point, when really just here, right now we're just here searching for items. Alright, so we drop down here, and we kill some really dumb sharks by standing here and letting them die. Whee! They just don't even think about it. They just go off the edge and they're gone. Alrighty. There are a ton of checks here, but I don't know if they'll have anything good. It could very well turn out that there is nothing of value here. And I'll be honest, what I'm trying to do right now is trying to avoid going into the Temple of Droplets, because there is no element in there, because I would just be there to loot it for items. And it's a long and tedious dungeon that I'd rather not do if I don't have to. Alright. But hey, Link can fly, so there's that. Whee! And if it looks like I'm skipping stuff here, that's because I kind of am. I'm only going for the treasure chests right now. Ah, I balls that one up. There we go. Oh, there's a Cloud Tops Kinstone piece in Cloud Tops. Cool. Oh, nope, wrong one. I will go in the other one. I'll drop down the other hole. See what there is to find here. Death. Okay, so there was nothing good here. Got it. Looks like I'm going to the Temple of Droplets, which I really didn't want to do, but it looks like I have no choice. The moment we get something we can use somewhere else, though, we are outie. Because that place is long and tedious, and we don't have everything we need to complete it. Perhaps most major, considering the theme of the dungeon, we still can't swim. In fact, we don't have any of the items that we need to fully complete this dungeon. Like, there are 3 items that are required for this dungeon. We don't have any of them. So, yeah. I tried to put it off. This is the only place remaining with viable checks. So, yeah. Sucks to be me, I guess. This is gonna be a big key, isn't it? That is always the big key, because it is not the big key in vanilla, and basically, in vanilla, that's a small key that leads to the big key. In randomizer, that will always be the big key. Okay, there's only like a few items we can get in here anyway, so we're probably going to be in and out. It's not as big a deal as I was afraid of it being, especially because we got the red sword. That is the next level sword for this area. And that actually opens up so much stuff that... And we got the lamp. The lamp is the required item for this dungeon. But seeing as we don't have anything else and there's so many checks elsewhere, I'd say we're not going to use it. I mean, it is a major item, but we're not going to use it just yet. So the red sword, the major thing that it does is it lets Link clone himself. Which opens up literally an enormous number of checks, like so many checks. It opened up this one here, for one. Like, we are officially back on track. There are so many open possibilities now. Holy crap. It's almost stupid how much stuff we can now do from this one item. Plus, also the lamp helps too. But the red sword was the big clincher. It is exceptionally good. We've just unlocked new checks in pretty much every area from the combination of the two. We unlock a check here we unlocked 2 checks here in town, actually. One in Hyrule Castle, one in Mount Krenel, and a shit ton in some all new areas that we just opened up access to. So, we are suddenly schmoving again. Goddamn. Alright, we are going to shrink in this house. And we are going to go into some rafters. It's going to be good. Hope y'all are enjoying this, by the way. It's my first marathon, and I was a little nervous, but I hope it's going well. Alright, so from here we go into this doctor's rafters. As you may have gathered, the flame lantern is a lamp that set things on fire. It is the almighty lamp. It is a glorious, wondrous item that has actually saved my bacon on numerous occasions. Thank you. Also, because we have the split scroll from earlier, we can charge this cloning up really fast, and it's great. Alright, so we need 2 links to stand on this book to make it fall. And let's see what it actually is. Ooh, it's a bigger bomb bag. I am absolutely in the market for that. Usually that's just rupees or something, but hey, it's actually good. I will take it. Sometimes you have to look away from the dog before it'll move. Because if you're looking at it, it'll look at you. And then you'll look at it, and it'll look at you. And you'll look at it, and it'll look at you. And then it'll bark. You can't pet the dogs in this game, which is pretty much concern and reason to throw this entire game in the trash. Because you can't pet the dogs, you can't pet the cats. What are you doing with this game? Capcom, why wouldn't you let us pet the dogs and cats? Alright, we got a little space here that's actually got a ton of stuff. If we clone Link and open this up, there are 4 whole checks in here. We got pointless rupees, a pointless bomb refill, pointless rupees, and Grey Blade, who gives us... Well, he's pretending to give us the roll attack, but he's really giving us... a bottle of dog food. That actually opens up a check, so it's not actually terrible. If we head back to Lake Hylia, we can go deal with the dog food. And since that was all we had to do on Mount Krenel, we're, like, officially done with Mount Krenel for now. Actually, I think we're done with Mount Krenel, period, now. We don't have to go back there. Give this dog food, and we get 5 bombs. That was useless. Alright. So the big thing, one of the major peeves with the Pegasus boots is that if you're going at an angle and not straight forward, you cannot transition screens while dashing. You can only transition screens if you're going straight forward. Otherwise, Link will bounce off like he hit a wall. Alright. Hyrule Castle check, and then we'll move on to entirely new areas. Dun dun dun! If we light these lamps, then Grimblade will teach us stuff. Also, it's gotten dark outside, and suddenly my background is very dark, and I'm blending in. He gave me 5 arrows, which is completely and totally useless. Thanks, Grimblade. It's appreciated. Alright, back to town. And we are now heading south from Trilby Highlands. If we go down this ladder, you will see more clone tiles. So we clone Link, we push this block that requires 2 people. And we're in a new area. And you know all those little freestanding rupee things that I mentioned? And how sometimes you get a whole bunch of them together, and in the randomizer they can all droopy items. Boom. Most of that's useless, but there's some really good stuff here. We got a piece of heart, we got the Tingle Trophy, and we got the Karlov Medal. And you're wondering, what the hell are all those things? What do they do? Well, the piece of heart's self-explanatory. If you collect 4 of them, it gives you a heart container. Okay, but seriously, the Karlov Medal opens a house in town with a bunch of checks. It opens up this town, it opens up this room, which has a piece of heart, 5 bombs, and a larger quiver, so we can hold more arrows, which will be very useful once we actually have a bow, which we don't. And if we go to South Hyrule Field here, well, there is the man himself. If we zoom up here, that green cap and green clothes, are you perhaps a fairy? Woo-ha! I knew it! Tingle wants to be a fairy too! And then if we talk to him again, you found them all, way to go, Mr. Fairy! You can claim this Tingle Trophy as your own with pride now. And we get a piece of heart. Normally, Tingle would give you the Tingle Trophy for completing all Kinstone fusions. However, in the randomizer, he gives you a random item when you give him the Tingle Trophy. The Karlov Medal in the original is a reward for completing a very long and arduous little collectathon. You see, here's the thing. This game, this GBA game from 2004 is a gacha. This game is a gachapon. It's just that, oh, hey, we got a bow. The bow is self-explanatory. You shoot arrows, and you make things die with the arrows. This game has a gachapon in it, using only in-game currency, called mysterious shells, that are not the same as rupees. And you can decide how many mysterious shells you put in to get a chance at winning a new figurine. You can put in more shells to up your chance of getting a new one. You can even guarantee that you get a new one if you put in enough shells. Anyway, here we have more freestanding rupees. We got a library book, and we got the blue sword, which opens up a ton more stuff. Most of which we probably won't have to do, but hey, blue sword is nice. For one thing, that opened up Royal Valley, and since we don't have an element there, we'll probably avoid it unless we have to. And now for the check that everybody hates. Percy! This is just a meme. This is a meme that you always skip Percy. Except actually you don't, because he gives you stuff. So you get a piece of heart from this monster that was living in Percy's house. And then you talk to Percy, he'll read a poem to you, and give you another piece of hearts. Normally, he'd give us those mysterious shells for the gachapon. But, those don't exist in the randomizer. Literally, all instances of mysterious shells are just gone. And if you talk to the gachapon person, he just tells you that RNG manipulation is illegal. So they just completely removed it from the randomizer, which is probably for the best, frankly. Okay, so you're supposed to either swim here or get some weird loop arounds to get a tornado. Don't need to. I have the power of the Rock's Cape. Alright, open up the fast travel point. And we have a ton of stuff to do here. There's like a shitload of checks in this area. I got 200 rupees. My face is apparently beaming. I don't know why. I don't care for rupees. Look at my wallet. It's full. There's some things money can't buy. And now we're going to have a fight that will hopefully be very funny. Otherwise, this will be very obnoxious. There we go. Took a few tries, but we got him. If you can trap him against the wall like that, he just dies really easily. As I said, it did take a little bit. Oh, and we have all 3 library books, which means that unlocks a town check that we will do after we finish this area. Also, fun fact about this area. It's called Castor Wilds in the English, but in the original Japanese, this area was called Tabantha. Now, the Tabantha region only appears in one other Zelda game, which is Breath of the Wild. So, the Tabantha region in Breath of the Wild, home of the Rito and Va Meadow, is actually a reference to this Zelda game. I think that's really cool. Alright, we shoot this guy. You have to shoot them 3 times in order to kill them. Alright, we still don't have the flippers, so we still can't swim. And I don't want that. Alright, Sword Beam! This is the classic technique for when Link is at full health. It's existed since Zelda 1. Swing sword, beam go projectiling. It's lovely. It's an old classic. Anyway, we kill this like, because I hate likes and they're jerks. Pointless rupees. And pointless rupees. Hooray. There's actually a lot of stuff we can't do here because there's items we're missing. And unfortunately, we have to wait a full cycle to get on this lily pad because the game does not like us, apparently. I don't know why it doesn't give you enough time there, but it doesn't. 5 rupees. Okay. And Link gets snooped. So all this stuff in the very top left corner, we actually cannot do because we're missing items. Actually, there's quite a few checks here that we currently can't do. Also, once again, puddles are dangerous when you are tiny. Alright, what's in here? 5 arrows! I'm actually going to quick warp real quick. Quick warp real quick. Because I want to be big for this next check, and it's way easier to just do that than to unshrink the normal way. If we push open this grave, we will find Swiftblade the First. Who will only teach us when we have 7 Tiger Scrolls. We have 8, so he's going to teach us. He is going to teach us the Great Spin Attack, which we already know, but Who knows what he'll actually give us? He gave us a rupee. Alrighty then, we are heading to town next, I believe. You see, now that we have all those library books, we're gonna do a good deed and return them. Also, I'm curious, can I do this little trick? No. I'm just gonna return them from the front like a normal person. Alright, so with all those books returned, Sturgeon here is gonna grab them. And we're going to go up to the top floor. Because there is something waiting for us here. There's actually quite a few things waiting for us in various places, but this is the major one right now. So if we talk to this little Minish right here, it'll give me 5 bombs. But moreover, we get to climb these books. And when we climb the books, we will find what looks like an encyclopedia set. But moreover, this book here is actually a house. God, I love how creative they got with the tiny stuff. Talk to this guy, and fall to our deaths. Wee. Alright, we actually can't get everything here, but we can get a good amount of it. Which, I mean, there's 2 items here, and we can only get 1. Also, actual bug warning on these guys. They're much more, defined than the other ones. Also, these guys are obnoxious as hell to fight. Alright. Collect the pointless collectibles. Oh! Okay. So that was pointless then. Great. Alright. Get the power of 3 links now that we have the blue sword, and open that up. And now, we have something new, which is probably nothing, but could be everything. Alrighty, let's see what this is. Oh. I love how things keep being useless. It's great. Well, I know the next place I'm checking, which is that we can do some stuff in Vale Falls that we couldn't do before. We just need to climb back down this little wall. And go in here. Now that we have both the lamp and the blue sword, we can do more stuff. Although actually we don't need the lamp to get through here. It's just technically out of logic if we don't use it. Yeah. Alright, push that. And... useful, but not helpful. Well, guess we're going to Royal Valley after all. But you know what? I'm okay with going to Royal Valley. It's actually a pretty neat area. And I get to show it off now. Also, it is nowhere near as long or obnoxious as the Temple of Droplets, so it's not actually a big deal. Alright, push this thing that requires 3. And let's see what we got here. 20 rupees. That's great. Royal Valley is a ghost level. Not actually a huge deal. But, go spooky! Also, there's the final Great Fairy. There are exactly 3 of them. This is the last one. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I answer here. It matters in the original. It doesn't matter in the randomizer. I'm getting a little worried because we're coming up in 2 hours and I'm a little behind where I'd normally be. But here's the secret here. If you go left, if you ignore the normal path, you go left, 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 and then just keep going up, you will find a secret. In this case, it's a terrible secret, but it's a secret nonetheless. Anyway, let's go talk to Dumpy. It's Dumpy the Gravedigger. Okay. And now, Link gets owned by a bird. That bird is a jerk. But if we just Pegasus Boots this tree, we get the graveyard key back. And we can deal with it anyway. Oh, that's important. That is extremely important. That one's less so. That opened up about 1 billion different things. I am, however, just gonna real quick do the Royal Crypt here because it's fast and we can just make sure. Thank you. But getting the flippers there kind of just ameliorated that worry because that opened up so much stuff. Holy crap. Like, I cannot overestimate how many checks that just opened up with that one item. In any case, as I said, I'm gonna just do Royal Crypt because it's fast and I want to clear it out. Plus, it's a bit of a treat for any fans of the original Zelda 1. So, we're gonna just do that real quick. Plus, it might have something important. I don't know. Alright. Now, we're supposed to pick the right mushroom. And then the right door. But, what if we just didn't do any of that? What if we just used the Rockscape and then already knew what the right door was? So if you listen to the music, this is a remix of the original Zelda 1's dungeon theme. And that is a sound effect straight from Zelda 1. Alright, let's clear this place out. Take out these snakes, because why did it have to be snakes? And take out these guys. Alrighty. Alright. King will appear. He'll give me 20 rupees. So this was actually pointless, but it's okay because it was short. Alright. So there's so many checks to do. And I'm going to start with Lake Hylia because there's a bunch there that we can go do. Remote bombs! Heck yeah! Suddenly, bombs become a lot more usable. With the power of remote bombs, you can blow up a bomb anytime. You don't need to wait for a timer to go down. It's cool. And really, really helpful. I am happy I found that. All right. Just cheat my way through this with the Rocks Cape, because as I mentioned, the Rocks Cape breaks everything. You get it in the final normal dungeon, so like it's understandable, but it's still really funny. And that was a really major item. Holy crap, that was huge. All right, we're gonna go up here to collect more stuff. We are back on track. That was the final Castor Wild's Kinstone piece. We have access to the Wind Ruins now. Which is not only where one of the required dungeons is, but also full of checks. Okay, so that's a red rupee that we don't need. That turned out to be a pointless rupee. But I didn't know it would be, so I'm still okay with grabbing it. And let's go back to Castor Wilds. There's so much stuff there. Holy crap, there's a lot. But I can grab all that stuff later. Right now, the major thing I'm going to do is fuse Kinstones with these mysterious statues. And they start smiling, which is adorable. In the original game, there's a bunch of different golden Kinstones, and which one matches up to a specific statue. They replaced it, they all have the same one, and they're all the same now. Just a little quality of life thing. Alright, I'm gonna come back to the Castor Wilds and get the remaining checks there later. Because right now, we've got the Wind Ruins to beast mode our way through. There's a lot of stuff here, and getting the remote bombs was a massive blessing because they are a huge help against these Armos statues. Because the statues die in one hit to bombs, and these bombs you can immediately set off whenever you want, instead of having to wait with a timer. So I can just plop one down right next to a statue, and kill the statue the moment it becomes susceptible to damage. Also, some of these statues are turned off, and you have to shrink and wake them up. Alright. I do not need that Kinstone piece. I'm not collecting it. The thing is, the regular Kinstone pieces, the randomizer doesn't even collect them. Collecting them does literally nothing. Alright, great spin attack to open that up. That took like 2 seconds. It was great. And there's another beanstalk. Let's see what's on this one. If I recall correctly, this beanstalk is not great. It's only 1 check. But it's a major check. We just got the 4 sword. Our sword is in its ultimate state, and you can now split Link into 4. Fun fact, we don't need this at all. It is useful, though, because it does double the damage of the original Smith sword. So it's yet another damage boost over the white sword. It does also open up a check. 1. Because I don't think I mentioned this yet. We're not doing the final boss today. Completing the final dungeon in a randomizer is really boring. Because by the final dungeon, you're supposed to have everything. And it only opens once you've got all the elements anyway, so the only thing that's random about it is where the keys are. And so it's just not fun to do in a randomizer. And also, it takes way too long. We do not have time. So I'm using, instead, there's a version of the randomizer where the credits will roll once you complete something else instead, which is a little bit before the final boss. I will say when time is coming up. It's nowhere near right now. But we have the 4 sword. This is the best sword in the game. It's very useful. It'll let us get the Jabbernut that we don't need anymore. Like, the moment we got the flippers, the Jabbernut became moot. So, it's kind of funny, but we don't need it. What we do need, and what I would very much like to get, are the 2 remaining gold kinstone pieces and the 1 major item that we don't have, which, fun fact, is actually supposed to be the first dungeon item you get. So the fact that we still don't have it is a little ugh. All right. Blow up all of these guys. And that opens up these 2 checks here. All right, 1 pointless rupee. And the magical boomerang. This is a boomerang upgrade that makes the boomerang go much farther and makes it so you can steer it. It's very good. Anyway, we actually need to turn this guy off, because if we get near him, he will skedaddle over to block our way and then shut down again. So instead, we need to fully deactivate him. Okay, wait for this guy to settle down and pick up his rock. We don't have the rock breaker, so we have to wait for him to do that. Ordinarily, if we had the rock breaker scroll, we could just break the rock. But we don't, so we can't. In any case, we are now entering the Fortress of Winds. This dungeon's great. It's a classic Zelda dungeon with branching paths and stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do here. We got one of our required items as well. There is an element in here, but there's also other stuff. So that's awesome. And I'm really happy we got one of the kinstone pieces, because that means there's only 1 left. Yeah. Also, fun fact about that almighty lamp here is that Wizrobes exist in this game, and they're normally a pain in the ass, but the lamp one-shots Wizrobes. It's very silly. I don't know why it does that, but it does. It just one-shot Wizrobes, and it's great. Also, digging is faster now. We have the butterfly for fast digging, butterfly for fast swimming, and the butterfly for fast arrow drawing. So we're Gucci on those fronts. Speaking of arrows, you saw how quickly we could draw and fire there. That's great. I'm going to equip... Okay, those guys die in 1 hit with the 4-sword. So, boom. 5 pointless bombs. Piece of heart. Small key. Small key. And... that's a rupee-like. Alright, cleared that out. God, the moments are just great here. We're getting all the keys today. Alright. We've got a very nice number of arrows that we are unfortunately going to have to fire. Yeah. One interesting thing the randomizer does when you're in a dungeon is that it limits the amount of actual clones you can make to the amount that you would make with the normal sword that you would have in that dungeon. It makes the dungeons actually completable in a lot of instances, where they wouldn't be otherwise. Alright. And... pointless rupees. Great. Thanks, game. I really needed that. Alright. Fire. And fire. And in yet another demonstration of the Rock's Cape breaks puzzles, screw all that cloning and pushing blocks. I don't need any of it. I've got my Rock's Cape. I love it. It's just a thing. It just breaks everything, and I am so here for it. Alrighty. Not Pegasus Boots. Boomerang. Get 200 rupees from that encounter. Rupees continue to be completely useless. Because we got a full wallet, we can't carry anymore, and there's nothing else we need to buy. Everything else is in chests. Got another piece of heart. That's cool. Alright. And mirror shield. That can reflect projectiles. Which is, again, not required, but actually quite useful. So I'm here for it. Alright. Kill this thing. And we're just gonna do a little thing there just to make things a little faster. And with Tiny Link here, we are going to wake up this Armos. Then we're gonna unshrink, take it out, and pull the lever. This is basically just vanilla, but fast. And the remote bombs help. Okay, that dropped an item we didn't need. Lovely. We've still got this. Alrighty. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna open this up. We got the compass, which is useless. And we've got the red portal. These things take us in and out of the dungeon. They're helpful. Though that one didn't really take us far. Kill this thing. Just fill it with arrows before it can do anything. Get a pointless dungeon map. Which I think is the vanilla check for that. That's the second vanilla check we've got. Alright. And okay. Got him. That was not quite as clean as the last Dark Nut, but it wasn't a big deal. Anyway, these guys are easy. I can just completely go against the flow because I can jump over them. God, the Rockscape just tears dungeons to pieces. It's funny because it's completely unintentional. This is an item you get near the end of the game. And it just tears apart all of the early game stuff because it was never built with it in mind. And I don't know why, but that is just really funny to me. Alright, open up this. And prepare for a mad dash. Okay, so it wasn't quite as mad or as dash as I may have let on. Anyway, Wall Masters suck. I think those are Floor Masters, actually. Whatever. They suck. We're getting rid of them. We do not want to deal with them. And I keep forgetting I don't have the rock breaker. Okay. And push these statues into place. Kill the snacks. Because as cute as snacks are, I do not want them in the way. Anyway, that turned out to be useless. Great. Open that, and then go back and shrink on this portal. I didn't just make the portal for no reason. Roll. It's funny, because the rupee is not getting collected. Alright, there's 2 checks remaining before we go fight the boss. Hopefully one of them's gonna be the boss key. Hopefully the other is something useful and not just rupees or something. Okay, this one's the boss key. So that's nice. We can finish out this dungeon now. I wonder what the other one is, though. Please be like the kinstone piece, the last kinstone piece I need. That would be very lovely and very much appreciated. Okay, I'm not dealing with those guys. I'm just leaving them behind. Alrighty. Open this up and go on the right side of the skull. You know what? I'll still take that. Quick warp. Get the red portal. And we're gonna go fight the boss. This boss is actually really good. I really enjoy it. This is spooky as it awakens. This is Mazal. He is the hand and face boss that you see in a bunch of Zelda and Mario games for some reason. I don't know why this is a thing they keep doing, but it sure is. And you know what? I'm here for it. So you take out the hand eyes. Oh yeah, the boss with 2 hands with eyes on them and then also a face. You take those out. So the boss deactivates. You go inside. And you kill the right pillar. But wait, the second and third phases are a little trickier. Because, well, I'll let you see for yourself once I get in there again. The answer is, however, because now there's dirt, and you have to use the moments. Which also means you can't immediately tell which one's the right one. It's this one. This time. But this boss is actually quite RNG dependent. So, it could be any of them at any time. Time for the final round. Kirby also has 2. Of course it does. It's just a thing Nintendo likes doing, isn't it? Don't ask me why, but they sure do love doing that. This one even looks almost exactly like the one from Wind Waker, except for the colors. Oh yeah, Wham Bam. I forgot about Wham Bam. Alright, and Mazal is defeated. And he drops a piece of hearts, which nevertheless does complete a new heart container. So that's nice. Grab the water element. Ignore Eslo. And we're gonna get more checks in Castor Wilds. Heck yeah. I just wanted to finish up the Wind Ruins because the thing about the Wind Ruins is there is no warp point in there. If you need to come back there, you have to do that whole area. There is no convenient way to get back there. Anyway, I didn't need to actually kill that guy, I just needed him out of the way, so I'll let him live. Anyway, now that we can swim... Talk to this guy. I didn't catch his name. Doesn't matter. He's gonna give us something pointless. Great. There's so many swim checks. Holy crap. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Let's go for it. Hopefully one of them will have what we're looking for. Because the thing is, we are exactly 2 checks away from go mode. And once we're in go mode, well, then we can just go. As befits the name. Alright, so those guys die. Great spin attack is really powerful. And it was for naught. What about this one? Also for naught. There is one more check, however. And it is actually really obnoxious, but we're doing it anyway, because what if it's the right thing? What if it's what we need? And then we'll be done with Caster Wilds forever. By the way, despite being able to swim, we still can't go in the green goo. But we no longer fear puddles, so that's nice. This is what we call hiking trip, where we have to make our way across the entirety of Caster Wilds while tiny. It is obnoxious as hell. All to get into this little hole over here, which has 2 checks in it. Okay, that's really important. We are exactly 1 check away from go mode. I am now glad that I did hiking trip. Okay, that guy's dead. Okay, last one's not important. But that first one was really important. I'm really glad that we got that. That is required. Okay, we've got 3 remaining checks in town. So we're just gonna do them real quick. And then I think we're actually completely done with town, too. That's how close we are to the end of this. If we go down here, we'll end up back in that same cave from before, but this time we can get the other check. Okay, that was pointless. But at least now we know that it was pointless. Alright. This is a check that we foreshadowed before. This is in the playground. Now that we have the best sword in the game, I honestly didn't think we'd be getting this check. But apparently we are. So, cool. Push the rock. We get the nut, which is completely useless now because we have the flippers. So the thing is, if you get either the nut or the flippers, a certain dungeon opens up. If you get the flippers, you don't need the nut because that is the only thing the nut does, whereas the flippers do a bunch more stuff. So the nut is completely useless if you have the flippers. It's only funny because it's called the nut. Alright, we have more checks up near Hyrule Castle. So we're gonna go do those. Alright. Give me your stuff, buddy. ₹20. Great. Don't you love it when you go to places for training and they just give you $20 and tell you not to tell anyone? Alright, pop down here. 1 rupee. Boo. 5 rupees. Double boo. Alright. South Hyrule Field, there's something there. Alright. Boom. Blast open that tree. And let's see what's in here. Pointless money. That was useless. Alright. We have a few more checks left to, well, check. And if none of them turn up anything, then we are going to another dungeon. And if all of them turn up, and if they do turn up the thing we're looking for, we're still going to a dungeon, just probably not the same one. Alright. In here. Hey, buddy! That was pointless. And we are actually going to warp back to the same place that we're in, just the upper section, because there's something we can grab here now. It's a piece of heart. Nevertheless, I'm going to grab the final remaining check in the areas we've already been to. And if the thing we're after isn't there, then I will go to Cloud Tops, complete Cloud Tops, and open up a new area that we've not been to yet. Just my luck that we got a really long seat. Ugh. Blah. And Rockscape. Wow, that was useless. Like, completely. We are heading to Cloud Tops. And we are going to complete Cloud Tops and go into a new area. God, I really, really hope the remaining item is not in the Temple of Droplets, because I do not want to go back there. Well, either way, we can at least clear out all of these things, so there's that. Just use the last of the Kinstones, open up all of this jazz. Okay, I'm not making that jump. I'll have to go up. There we go. And alley-oop. around to here. We're basically just filling in all of those kinstone things. Just getting them all done. And then we can go into the next area. Because pretty much none of these things had what we were actually after, which is disappointing, to say the least. That one was... Let me just try that again. There we go. That's more like it. That jump is always a little tricky, but it's still pretty quick. Ow. There we go. And last one. Got them all together. Beep, 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 beep. All right, new tornado appears. These two happily go into the tornado. And we quick work back over there because it's better than walking. And away we go! Most importantly, there's a fast travel point here, so that's nice. But we've actually been here before. We have already covered the first two floors way back at the very start of the randomizer when we went in that weird portal. While I was explaining kinstones. That leads all the way up here, but these upper floors were blocked then. So we did get a bigger bomb bag, which is not super helpful. We got 1 rupee and 20 rupees. All right, we are going into my least favorite dungeon, but it is required, so we're going there anyway, even though I don't like it. Alrighty, let's go. Welcome to the Palace of Winds. Alright. And this is the only dungeon where all the things still consider it the forest sword. Even though you're supposed to be in here with the blue sword. Hey. Land whose wayfarers ask why you carry a winnowing fan on your shoulder. Indeed. My real problem with it, though, is, it's incredibly linear. Like, stupidly linear. This entire dungeon is this big straight line. And not even in any clever ways. Anyway, let's kill all of these Wizrobes, all of whom die in one hit to the lamp, because the lamp is really funny. And we get a small key. Of course we do. See, normally I would blaze through here and skip a bunch of stuff, but we're still missing an item. And I can't risk the chance that that item might be in here. So I have to actually be thorough about this place. Alright. Oh, god damn it. Okay, somehow that still worked, even though that shouldn't have worked. Okay, that was really scuffed. Way more so than usual. Back. Wrong way. Alrighty. This is not great. Whee! Okay, we got small key. We got another bomb bag. We can now hold 99 bombs, and we got the big key. Cool. Okay. Thankfully, the really horrible item is one where we can see what it is ahead of time. So at least there's that. But that's a small comfort, really. I'm dealing with this, otherwise not great area. Also, I just realized I have to deal with this place without the rock breaker, which means I need to break out the cane and prepare for some really obnoxious work. Oh no, I can't use the cane when I'm, I can't use anything but the sword when I'm split, so I just had to manipulate that really cleverly. Alternatively, I could have done it in 2 rounds. And just, I don't know, cleared out the skulls the first round and then gone the second, but that would have taken longer. Okay. You see what I mean about this place being really linear, though? It's just a straight line. I mean, it loops, it curves, but it never loops or anything. There's no backtracking, there's none of that. It's just keep going along the path, and you will reach the end. And it's not interesting, it's not immersive, it doesn't make me think. It's just, here, beat these rooms one after another. Ugh. Alright, shrink, come down here. And here we go. We are now Tiny Link. And we are rolling our way through here. Oh, God. Now we are rolling our way through here to get into this little thingy. Ugh. Well, that was pointless. You know what? It was still a piece of heart, so I will take the heals and whatnot, but that was mostly pointless. Not even the music is interesting, it just keeps doing the same thing over and over. I don't like this dungeon. Unfortunately, it almost always comes up in randomizer. Every single time. Alrighty. That time, I'm going to use the boost to go really far. Alright, let's see what the terrible item is. It's a scroll! I'm betting that's the rock breaker or something similar, so I need that. Great. I have to do the terrible strat. Unless I get the special item. If I get the item I'm looking for, then all of a sudden everything else is irrelevant and I can just go on to go mode. Alright, ball and chain troopers. If you jump, it makes them do the thing that makes them vulnerable. I don't know why. It just does. Alright, I'm just gonna open this door up right away and then get the other chest. Okay, so that was pointless. Alright. Normally you're supposed to push a pot onto those, because you're supposed to be in here with the blue sword. But I have the 4 swords, so I can just do it, and it's not a puzzle. Oh, I messed that up. And I get frozen for my trouble. Got him. Ugh. This dungeon, man. I guess so, yeah. It has to design around the Rock's Cape, but like... Yo! We are officially in go mode. That is the Gust Jar. It can suck things out. It can blow things in. Sorry, it can suck things in. It can blow things out. It is the last item we need. Let's McFreaking go. Also, that guy is really easy to kill. You know what? Fair enough. It is hard to make uncheesable backtracking when jumping exists. Okay, unfortunately, I used up a lot of keys, so I can't just beast mode this, but I'm really glad I don't have to do droplets. I do, at the very least, need to get enough keys to complete the dungeon. Ugh. Because I did kind of spend 2 keys that I wish I hadn't needed to spend. One of them was useless, and the other actually gave me the Gust Jar, so it was very much not useless. This puzzle cannot be completed as vanilla because we have the wrong sword. So I have to use the remote bomb there. Because these little warp tiles here, you're supposed to leave gaps to weave between the pillars, and you can't do that when you make 4 clones. In any other dungeon, you would be limited to the required number of clones. For some reason, the randomizer didn't do that at this dungeon. And that is a randomizer quality of life thing. Okay, because I wasted 2 keys, I actually can't... If I hadn't wasted those 2 keys, this would be enough keys to end the dungeon, but I did, so it's not. Which means I need items. Shit! Shit! I have to do all that again. I didn't open up the thing. I have to do that again. Regional indicator F. Ugh. I love this dungeon. Thing is, there's all kinds of cool things you could do with the Rock's Cape. And this dungeon does do some of them. But, like, the dungeon itself is still just painfully linear. Alright, this is going to be, Wizrobes. Who die in an instant to the lamp. Alrighty. Up we go. For real this time. And it's a key. I do still need one more key, unfortunately. Because I used 2 of them where I didn't need to. I was about to say where I didn't need to, but I did actually need to, so never mind. The point is that we're in go mode, and that after this dungeon, the remaining dungeon is actually really, really easy. So we should be good. And I've decided I am not going to get whatever scroll is waiting over in the bad check. It is not worth it. 50 rupees. All right. Boop. All right. Thankfully, this next puzzle is actually really easy to skip. If you've ever played Operation, you can already get the gist of it, but with a backwards rock jump, we can just skip it. And we got the final key. So now we just go fast. You're supposed to get through there without touching the switch, but we can just jump over it with a very carefully placed, very precise backwards rock jump. In fact, it's the longer of the rock cave jumps, so we could even call it a backwards long jump. All right, and to cap off an annoying dungeon, we've got the worst boss in the game. Especially if you have the Force Sword. Having the wrong sword makes this boss way harder. So, fun time. Welcome to Gjorg, the boss who is designed to make you hate this game. Obviously, it doesn't work, because I still love this game, but, first round goes fine. First round's easy. See, there's one problem. When your clones get hit, if you take any damage while your clones are out, or they get hit by a projectile, they disappear completely. Like that. So with this shmup, normally you would have 3 links out. 2 clones plus the original. With the Force Sword, you have 4. Makes you a bigger target. Accelerated back hop. It can be that too. Although the actual point of it is that you don't go very far. You actually go less far than normal. And in the 3rd round, the guy just the little one just straight up bodies you. 3rd round sucks. As you can see. And heck, even just getting bobbed around by the guy gets rid of your charge up. Okay. Fourth round is easy. The blue guy's gone. 4th round is easy. Got him! Frickin' got him! We beat Georg. And we get the fire element for our trouble. Alright, we are now going to be as fast as we can to get the final dungeon over with as quickly as possible. We're not even collecting those 5 arrows. Okay. We are just heading straight to Minish Woods. And we're going to complete the tutorial dungeon. Because that's the remaining dungeon. It's the first dungeon in the game. Our mission is very, very simple. Get the big key and then go straight to the boss. Because the thing is, the actual entrance to the boss fight is at the start of the dungeon. So if we can get the big key, if we can just get the big key right away, then we can just go straight to the boss and we can skip most of the dungeon. Because we are in go mode. Also, the lamp is actually really way better at burning these cobwebs. You're supposed to use the gust jar to suck them off, but you can just use the lamp. 1 rupee, which means the next check is going to be a small key. The Rockscape does let you tear this dungeon apart too, especially in combination with the almighty lamp. But, I'm still trying. It's still a little slow. I'm trying to get through it as quickly as I can. Oh, wait, no, I almost forgot. Light this on fire before I go in there. All right, equip the gust jar. This is what we're going to be using through most of this. We are past the point where the Rockscape is a major accelerant. There is another point where it's useful, but it is no longer the major skip in this dungeon. All right, we've got a lot to cover, and whichever it is right now, it is literally comes down to a game of where is the big key. That is what will determine how fast we finish this, is where the hell the big key is. Okay, so the Rockscape is useful here too. 5 pointless bombs, and we know that there's pointless bombs there. Okay. Prepare to hear the Zelda doodle-doodle-doop sound 3 times in a row. Ooh, compass. Not important. I don't have time for the compass. Okay. At the very least, the Rockscape does help me avoid those very slow little thingies. Slow dust patches. Okay. This is a room I do not care for. Major reason being that the game can't tell when you've got the right thing on the thing to permanently open the door. So it'll just repeatedly play the puzzle solved sound effect even when you didn't complete the puzzle. All right, Bulldozer time. Easy. But not what I wanted. Dungeon map, completely useless. Okay. Small key, not helpful. Push that, and normally you'd have to do a big complicated thing with a lily pad to get this, but Rockscape. And it was useless anyway. Watch, it's gonna be literally the last one I check, isn't it? It is quite literally going to be the very last one. Never mind, I know where it is. All right. Immediate quick warp. Get the blue portal. Grab the key. And blue portal back out. Alrighty. Time for a boss fight. A boss fight that you are supposed to do with the Smith Sword. I have the Force Sword and the Great Spin Attack. This is gonna be silly. And the boss is a completely normal Choo-Choo. That's the thing. This is not a giant Choo-Choo. This is a normal-sized Choo-Choo. Link is just tiny. I find that's very funny. That this is not some giant evil monster. It's a normal mook that Link can normally dispatch easily. But Link is so tiny that it's a boss fight now. Okay. Look at his little Muppet face. It's amazing. Got him. We freaking got him. All right, we only have one thing left to do, and then we're actually done. We're so close. Earth element acquired. This is, of course, the worst possible dungeon to do last, because we still have to unshrink before we can go anywhere. Ooh, we got a raid with a party of 7 from Broody. All right. Ocarina equipped before we even do anything else. Get as fast as Tiny Link can go to the Minish portal. All right. Warp. And you know what's great about this game? Is that when you want to end the game, when you want to get to the end, there's one thing standing in your way that's completely different from the rest of the game. It's time for a stealth mission. If you get caught by these guards, they will always kick you out. You cannot fight them. They're just normal dudes doing their job, and so this rando is really good. Thanks for the raid, buddy. All right. Worst part is you've got to be patient here. If you are too slow or too fast, you will get caught. But we're good. All right. A Link to the Past music, very briefly. This is the only time this music appears in the game, and it's when you're sneaking into Hyrule Castle. Alrighty. Drop the sword. Quick cutscene. Link pulls the sword from its pedestal. Come on. I'm trying to hurry a cutscene and it's not working. Okay, we are coming up on time. It's almost time. And time. Oh, that is it. Oh, what are we at? Also, y'all, thank you. Big shout out to the dev team whose names are coming up on screen right now. They put in so much work into this. It's fantastic. And we didn't get everything, but we finished the game in 2:43:21 IGT, almost 3 hours in RTA. So y'all, thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of me, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I really hope you enjoy what's coming up next. If I have it right, we are coming up on an Undertale character analysis by Sporadic Erratic. So I really hope you all enjoy that. I've had a lot of fun. We're underestimate by about 4 minutes. And yeah, thanks for hanging around with me. Thanks for watching me do this. This randomizer, this one had ups and downs. Despite everything, 2:48:31. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Have fun with the next event. And before I forget, these, I'm free. Oh, I can stretch. I can freaking stretch. Oh. Okay, bye. Ugh.